Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, has been hit with a disturbing new lawsuit.
New Mexico's Attorney General accuses the social media giant of enabling child sex abuse and even trafficking. Our Stephanie Whitfield is on the story for us this morning. And Stephanie, we understand this all came out as a result of an undercover investigation.
That's right. Law enforcement set up fake accounts showing AI-generated photos of a fictional 13-year-old girl from Albuquerque. And I'll warn you now, the results may be upsetting to hear. The civil lawsuit alleges followers flooded the account with unsolicited messages filled with inappropriate pictures and videos. She received those pornographic messages at least 3 to 4 times per week. New Mexico Attorney General Raul Torres sat down for an exclusive interview with CBS News, and he says this investigation found Facebook and Instagram's algorithms create a marketplace for the sexual exploitation of children. Here's a clip of that interview.
I don't think they have a deep appreciation for how many predators there are in these spaces.
If you're a predator today, are Facebook and Instagram the best places to do business?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are simply not enough safeguards in place.
It was frankly shocking, the amount of illicit material, requests for sex, for the exchange and distribution of child pornography.
This lawsuit comes after the New Mexico Attorney General's office conducted undercover investigations of Meta's platforms using decoy accounts posed as children.
One of the accounts that was established as a part of our investigation had received over 5,000 followers in a very short period of time. Over 95% of the followers were men. And this is somebody who presented as a preteen girl.
Your user agreement sucks.
Told you so.
You know, for some time now, the criticisms out there on the porn industry, adult industry, sex workers, you know, however you want to put it, for quite some time now. And on this program, we have always said, well, why aren't they going after Meta? Why aren't they going after Facebook? Why aren't they going after Instagram? Because that's where it's at. You know, you could check with the National Exploited Children's Organization, which basically they have a hotline, and they basically, you know, they take it in, and you see that they Facebook's had millions of calls on stuff that's been on Facebook and Instagram. And we know from back a couple of years ago that from an article that over 12 million pieces of CSAM or cheese pizza, however you want to put it, was removed from Facebook and Instagram. 12 million. But where is Morality and Media and Lila Mickelwalk, Sound Investigations, and many others, including some of the Mormon religion, some of the Catholic religion, the politicians that have been trying to shut down the entire porn industry itself? Because they said, we got to protect the children,
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
That the children are important. And I've always said this, it's a censorship game that they're playing. And here's the bigger proof. This particular AG brought receipts with him, a lot of receipts, showing that Meta is responsible, highly responsible for a lot of trafficking out there on their servers.
I fucking knew it! Oh!
Let's look into this from Gustav Turner. Had tips to another good article from XBiz. New Mexico AG, Pornhub, OnlyFans, safer than Facebook and Instagram. And I'm going to repeat myself. The New Mexico Attorney General saying that Pornhub, OnlyFans is safer than Facebook and Instagram.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
Put that in your mind. The Office of New Mexico's Attorney General Raul Torres has asserted in a statement announcing that the state lawsuit against Meta that some instances of child sexual abuse material CSAM are 10 times more prevalent on Facebook and Instagram than on Pornhub and OnlyFans.
These investigators created all of these decoy accounts pretending to be children ages 14 years and younger. And that's how they were able to uncover all of these disturbing allegations as laid out in this civil lawsuit brought forth by the New Mexico Attorney General, in which he says, these platforms are not safe spaces for children, rather prime locations for predators. And so they found evidence, they say in this lawsuit, that the platforms allegedly proactively served and directed underage users to explicit content. They enabled dozens of adults to contact children asking for photos, and they allowed children to join groups related to human trafficking. And Marky, in one case, one of the investigators posing as a mother offered her 13-year-old daughter for sale on one of these platforms.
New Mexico's suit against Meta and CEO Mark Zuckerberg alleges that the company platforms enable child sex abuse material to be distributed and failed to identify alleged predator networks, CNBC reported. See, you can't even hide this from the mainstream media anymore. You can't, because basically it's all out in the open now. The cards are truly on the table. Let's continue on. Torres filed the lawsuit after an undercover investigation, which Mexico alleges revealed a myriad of instances of sexual explicit content being served to minors, child sexual coercion, or the sale of C-SPAN. The New Mexico Attorney General's office said through a statement that Zuckerberg and other Meta executives are aware of the serious harm their products can pose to young users. They have failed to make sufficient changes to their platform that would prevent the sexual exploitation of children, despite repeated assurance to Congress and the public that they can be trusted to police themselves. It is clear that Meta executives continue to prioritize engagement and ad revenue over the safety of the most vulnerable members of our society.
Meta claims that it is doing all it can to address the problem. Legally, it is required to report any child sexual abuse imagery to the NCMEC, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. This organization acts as a nationwide clearinghouse for child abuse in the U.S. The nonprofit receives federal funding to do this. And guess what? Meta is a major funder of NCMEC. It holds a seat on the company's board. In 2022, between January and September, Facebook reported more than 73 million videos and images under child nudity and physical abuse and child sexual exploitation. Instagram reported over 6 million.
The office investigators found that certain child exploitative content is over 10 times more prevalent on Facebook and Instagram than it is on Pornhub and OnlyFans, the statement noted. Yes, this is correct. They're blaming the wrong direction, because the thing about it is, those that are going after the porn industry are looking for censorship. They're not looking to just cancel out the porn industry. They're looking to control the internet. See, the true problem out there, and this is why the politicians don't want to talk about this, is that it is on places like Facebook. It's like on Instagram out there. Yes, that is correct. We've said this for quite some time now. We have our politicians in office that they're trying to push these online safety bills, which are just censorship bills, but not going after the real criminals in this case. Now, you may say to yourself, well, Facebook is their own company. They should be protected by Section 230. Yes, up to a point. If they know blatantly, see, this is where the difference between what the case with Pornhub versus Facebook. When it comes to stuff being uploaded, okay, think about this a minute. For things that are uploaded, this is the same thing that goes on in YouTube and other social media platforms when it comes to uploading videos. There are nefarious villains out there that will upload not one, not two, not three, not four, but dozens of the same video constantly, which is keeping the algorithm off kiltered on some of these sites. And the thing about it is that the challenge is, you know, you have to try to go filter through all these problems, and it becomes an issue where you may get about 6 of them, 7 of the same on there, but then you miss a couple. And then those get out in the open, and then people say, oh, look, they do have it on there. But here in the case of Facebook and Instagram, you have nefarious villains that are constantly putting up on there, but they are in contact with children. They are physically talking to them on there. You might get a redirect in a Pornhub situation or an adult or porn site on there, but you know, hopefully the porn industry catches that. And they don't want, see, the thing about it is, they don't want these situations. They don't want this attention at them. They already have enough problems fending off the the radical religious, those out there that want them gone to begin with. Not that, you know, child exploitation, human trafficking, sexual agents. They just want them gone. They have enough trouble with that, you know, all the time. But in this case with Facebook and Instagram, you have people putting up pictures of children, trying to sell that information out to people, and people clicking on them, and then you have people, children being tricked, and you have a lot of children on Facebook. Understand this. This is not to the situation where kids shouldn't be on Pornhub, you know, or X video or stuff like that, which they shouldn't be on. This is a site that there are children looking at this constantly, and Meta hasn't gone in there and really taken out. I mean, that was it 2019, that 2019 report where they removed over 12 million pieces of sesame or cheese pizza, however you want to put that. I mean, 12 million pieces versus maybe a couple hundred, couple thousand that have been on Pornhub and OnlyFans. It goes to show you where our priorities are. It's the same thing with the when people in Congress are trying to get the Epstein logs, you know, and you have people like Durbin. They say, "Well, I didn't hear you wanted it. You know, why do you need it?" and stuff like that. Because basically, we do have a trafficking issue in this country.
Why won't you subpoena them if you can?
It's the first time anyone has raised it. Thank you, Fox.
So, are you curious about it? Will you do it?
Subpoenas now. Here are a few more that I've filed. A subpoena to Jeffrey Epstein's estate to provide the flight logs for his private plane.
Thank you, Senator. When I recognized you, I didn't know what subject you wished to speak to. As I announced at the beginning, the first thing we'll consider the 2 judicial nominations, then we will move to the subpoena.
Has the FBI done to investigate the claims that Epstein's and others participated in, produced, possessed, and distributed CSAM?
As to the Epstein case specifically, I will tell you it's been a while since I looked at that case.
Should those logs be made public? They've been heavily redacted.
Well, as I said, it's been a while since I looked at the specific case. I can tell you that we've been increasing year over year both the number of agents focused on these kinds of cases, the number of victims we've rescued, and so on to this specific case. Let me offer to have let me get with my team and figure out if there's more information we can provide.
Chris Wray hasn't looked at the Epstein case in a while.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Mr. Durbin, why don't you go take a trip to Queens and see our problem here in New York City on Roosevelt Avenue? How many kids are being used as prostitutes out there? Constantly. And this is just in New York alone. We're not talking about the regular prostitutes that are prostituted up and down Hunts Point, something like that. We're talking people that are being smuggled into this country, across that border, to be used as sex slaves. And this is what's happening on Facebook too, as well. This is not something like where you have one or 2 or 5 particular cases of them. This is millions and millions of pieces of material on there. And you say, well, didn't you say it's hard to get a lot of this off? yes, you're correct on that, but here's the situation. Whereas they try to shuffle videos around, here, this is blatant out in the open on Facebook and Instagram. They're not afraid to put it on the site. And like I said, the AG brought receipts. I mean, we can't show you them on here because we probably might get locked off from YouTube. But the thing is, we'll try to show what we can. But you know, from what was broadcast on New Mexico television, on the broadcast news channels there, I mean, the AG brought a lot of receipts. There are a lot out there that are trying to gain hold of your children and take them away from you to use them as sex slaves. And to use them back on again on Facebook. They're asking for pictures and stuff like that. You know, and that's the major difference when you look at something like a Pornhub situation. OnlyFans, you know, you kind of almost expect it, but the thing about it is, it's not majorly prevalent there. Does it happen? Yeah, it probably happens there, but not as highly, you know, significant as it does on Facebook and Instagram. And like I said, we have said this before. We have slammed this on numerous videos. Where are all these people on Morality and Media and Lila Mikawatt and all these others that, you know, that they're slamming the porn industry, but the true villains on here are the guys all the way over there on the West Coast in the middle of Silicon Valley. These are the same people that restricted our speech during several elections. These are the people who have criticized us, called us misinformation. They criticized us and called us racist for criticizing a Disney film or a BBC TV series or anything else that, you know, basically they politicize on air. Think about that for a moment. These are sites that have worked with the government.
There was a lot of attention on Twitter during the election because of the Hunter Biden laptop story. The New York Post.
Yeah, we had that too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
So we took a different path than Twitter. I mean, basically the background here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you know, like, you should be on high alert. There was we thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant.
We know this from the Senate subcommittee hearings. We know this from Twitter when Elon Musk took over. We know that Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, that they worked with the government to censor people online. But meanwhile, they're pushing human trafficking and child trafficking across. Goes to show you who are the true villains in this situation. Will Section 230 save Meta at this point? I don't think so. I think this is it's a solid case. You know, Zuckerberg says, "Oh, we're doing enough for it, you know, to get rid of these situations," but yet they haven't. And, you know, when you see it straight out there, you know that what's going to happen next is you're going to have whistleblowers come forward next. You know that's how. If the Attorney General Raul Torres hasn't gotten any true whistleblowers, he probably has them in his pocket right now. Literally, because basically that's next. Pay attention to what is going on in New Mexico on this. Pay attention. Remember, this is the state that had a fight with the Second Amendment, where you had a governor who wanted to violate the Constitution. But people like Raul Torres and many others were like, no, that ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen here. We have to prioritize what's going on in this country. We do have a human trafficking problem. We do have a child trafficking problem, a CSAM problem. Problem is, the proper way to resolve it is not being resolved. We need action directly from our law enforcement, our policymakers, whether it's our mayor of our cities, our police chiefs, our district attorneys. Because you got to remember, we got all these district attorneys out there that are Soros bought, that are just re-releasing criminals back into the wild, as I would say. And this will continue to happen until we remove these guys from office. Remember, there's a big major election coming up, and this is the time for America to shine and to show the rest of the world, because the rest of the world is starting to burn. Places like the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, places that they're talking about removing freedom of speech because they want to protect people. And they don't realize is that removing the freedom of speech doesn't protect the people. It makes them prisoners. Prisoners of their political parties. So tell me in the comments below your thoughts about this, because this is a lot that's going on right now. Now, I didn't want to take too much time on this at the moment because I want to look more further into it. Maybe in 2024, we'll get a little bit more deeper dive of the situation, because it's an all-out war when it comes to the truth. Facebook and Instagram have 10 times more CSAM situations than Pornhub and OnlyFans. That's the takeaway from this. It proves that the porn industry isn't the major problem, as all of these critics have been telling you for quite some time. Is it an internet problem? It depends on how you look at it to the perspective. Like I said before, things are tools and how tools are used. But see, the thing about it is the people who own the tools sometimes, if you see that the tool has a situation whereas it's being used nefariously in a certain way that it can be remedied, then why not remedy it? Why not take care of the situation? Maybe it's because you're part of the situation. Like I said, there are a lot of those, and I bring up the Epstein file, the Epstein flight log. What do they want to hide on that Epstein log? The truth. That's what they're hiding, because it opens up a lot of people to have a lot of questions on why were they on a particular flight to an island where we know that there were some nefarious things going on. So remember, subscribe, like, share, comment, stay strong, question authority. Truly, do question. Question why Facebook and Instagram are allowing this. Question those out there. Why are you criticizing a smaller situation when there is a major situation going on? Once again, stay strong. Be sure to check out all of our other videos on Member of the Show, Fast 5. So until next time, thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.
Thanks for watching. Before you go, please comment, like, and share this video. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe, as this helps the reach of our channel. Finally, as a content viewer, you have that ability to help support this and many other channels. Especially now more than ever, since the passing of a new law in the United Kingdom that will diminish the reach of many channels and affect our advertisers. If you wish to help grow this channel by financial support, you have two ways. There are two links in the description below. The first will send you to a pay site where you can make a monetary donation. The second will send you to our gear store where you can purchase t-shirt, mugs, and other specialty items. Any additional discounts will be listed on the main page. Once again, thank you for watching and your support.